When do we let people in there?
Shirley, I will still use the poster as your first picture.
Oh, okay. Edgar, Jonathan just said we're live. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our family health show, True Temperance International Health Show, as known as, some of you may say, TTI. Sorry for the delay at this time, just a few hiccups, but we do, hello, and we do bring able to be on. I'm just going to mute somebody. Okay.
Thank you, Shirley. This is truly a family health show because, as you can hear, we have our youngest member of our TTI family in the background. She's actually fairly quiet, so thank God for that. And I am just sharing something with our speaker for today. He will be coming on shortly, but we're going to do a little bit.
Sharon, I'm sorry, I think you've been muted.
These things happen. We're live on YouTube, so when whoever's watching this on YouTube gets to see this, you'll see, hopefully, I don't know, it will be the unedited version, so all the bloopers are going to be there, but that's fine. So welcome to today's family health show, True Temperance International. We're happy to have you with us, and we are looking forward to another really exciting presentation where we're going to learn so much together, and we will share a lot together. Some of you, it may be the very first time you've been on True Temperance International, and you're thinking, well, what's this all about? So, as a brief introduction, we're a group of friends who are of the same persuasion in terms of our faith and our beliefs in the health message, and we wish and just love to share this amazing health message with everybody, the whole world even, and it's just, we're using the natural remedies, the natural health doctors, so we're using New Start as our, you could say it's like our springboard to spring us into action, into sharing this message. And the New Start principle consists of the acronym NEWSTART, all spelling New Start. And the N is for nutrition, E is for exercise, W is for water, new, then start, sunshine, T, temperance, A, air, R, rest, and the final T, trust in God. So with these 8 health doctors implemented into our lifestyle, we should be well on the way to having an efficient system that can deal with all the things that all the health attacks that are in our system in today's society. We're not saying you're never going to get sick, but you'll be well equipped to deal with the challenges on our health. So that's New Start aside. So what we do each week is we present a challenge with everybody. So the presenter may get a challenge and ask us to do something for the week. And for some of the challenges are more easy than others. And we've been going for many years, actually, well, many years, many months. So probably about a year and a bit, probably maybe a year and 4 months. And we have lots of challenges on YouTube. So if you go onto True Temperance International on our YouTube platform channel, so you can just type it in and you'll see that there's lots and lots of recordings and challenges that you can look into to see if you would like to take one up too. Now, Charlene, do we have, oh, and who am I? I'm Sharon, of course. I'm assuming you know who I am. My name is Sharon. I'm your host today. And we also have Charlene,
Yes,
who's
you have.
there saying hello. For good reason, she's unable to put her camera on, but I can trust that you can put your camera on if you're available. Just remember to keep your microphones on mute unless you are answering a question or you are presenting. So do we have our disclaimer, or do I need to share a screen with? Okay, I will share my screen. Which one shall I go with? We'll go with this one. So I'm just going to go back a bit. So we need to put this into PowerPoint mode. Bear with me, please. That's the wrong one. No, it's the right one. Let's just put it into PowerPoint mode from beginning. There we go. Right, so right, our disclaimer. Only a physician can diagnose, treat, and prescribe for illness or disease. Any information discussed or disclosed at the TTI Zoom talk show, that's our family health show, they are for educational and informational purposes only. Please, please, please continue to seek professional medical advice from your general practitioner if you're under one already regarding any illness or disease that you may be suffering from. So that is our disclaimer. Now, excuse me, I'm going to jump a few slides because 2 weeks ago, we were set a challenge by our presenter for today, Dr. Gandy, and he asked us to be seedy people for the week. And you're kind of thinking, what does that mean? But really what he was doing is he was encouraging us to incorporate more fiber into our diet. And we're good with this is what he said, we're good with the fruits, we're good with the vegetables, but when it comes to the nuts and seeds, a lot of people don't have as much as they need. So we were to incorporate using more seeds. So here, I'm just going to go through a gallery of some of the photos that we shared in our Telegram group. So here we have a smoothie, which I'm calling a seedy smoothie, because you can see there's blackberries on the top with seeds in it. And there is also some blended pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and flax seeds in peach. And what else was in this smoothie now? I made it 2 weeks ago. Peach. I think I used coconut milk or almond milk. And there was another fruit. I can't remember what it was, but it was a nice smoothie. It was more of a thick, very thick drink. So that was one way of getting the seeds into our diet using smoothies. And then, let's see what else we have. Charlene, was this yours?
No, not that one. That's not mine.
Okay, but could you talk to us about this one?
Yeah, so this one is called Slaps. Brent presented this on TTI a few months ago, I think. And so this one Slaps. So it's an acronym for some seeds. So it's sunflower seeds, linseeds, which is flax seeds, almonds, pumpkin seeds, and sesame seeds. Is that correct, Sharon?
Yes, that's correct. And what do you do with them?
So here is a grounded of the seeds of Slaps. And then what you can do, you can put it on in your smoothies, in your porridge, in your salads. You can do so much with it. You can, what else could you do with it? What else would you do with Sharon? I don't know if it's going to taste nice if you put it in a juice. It might taste a bit bitty or a bit, but yes, that's what you can do. More people put it in their porridges, like breakfast meals, cereals, and so forth. Maybe you can put it in soup as well.
Yeah. And what you would do is you'd have it, and you could make it in advance and have it for a few days in the fridge, but you don't want to make a big batch, because you don't want to leave it hanging around for a long time. So possibly like maybe 3 or 4 days, kept in a cool place in the fridge, so it would be dark, and you sprinkle it as and when you require. So you could use a tablespoon per dish. Would you go for that amount?
Yes. Yeah, that'll be a good amount.
Yeah. Okay, so what have we got next? I'm just as intrigued as you are. Let's see. Okay, so last week with our presentation by, who was our presenter last week, Charlene?
Sonia
Sonia
Barnes.
who?
Barnes.
Sonia Barnes. And what was she talking to us about? Ah, the MMMs, the 3 M's, what's the thing in the cells? The mitochondria, the microbiome, and magnesium.
Yeah.
And she was sharing with us how much we need more magnesium. We need to look after the health of our cells, so we have healthy mitochondria that's going to give us energy. And the microbiome is almost like another body system. We have microbiome in our gut, microbiome in our mouth, microbiome everywhere, and we need a healthy microbiome, a healthy environment for our cells to be at optimum. But the magnesium is something that we take for granted. It's there and we need it, but we don't always get enough of it. So she was sharing with us different ways we can incorporate recipes into our body, into our daily practices that's going to boost our magnesium levels. As well as pomegranate, she mentioned that we could have more beans, black beans and red beans. And what was the challenge, Charlene?
It was to look at a different type of bean, that one that we're not used to, and to incorporate it into our diet, into our meal for this week as a challenge. So Sonia gave us a few recipes. So a bean paste, like a hummus type thing. There was one called red stew, which is from, I think it was Ghana or Nigeria. And then there was a few others of different types. It was a red and a black bean and a red bean that we had to incorporate into our diet for this week. Well, for last week, yeah, this week. So that's what the challenge was. And there's quite a few that we placed in our Telegram groups, and those who are still on our WhatsApp group.
So this is one that Charlene, you posted. So really the best person to speak about this would be yourself. So tell us what's on this plate.
Sharon, I didn't post this one.
Oh, okay. Let me just see what's on my
I did sunflower. I did the hummus.
Right. Okay. Then this one says they're sharing a freestyle black bean recipe using basmati rice, red onion, peppers, black beans, and some light seasoning. And the person said that the whole family loved it. I really thought it was you that sent that one, Shirley. Okay, let's move on to the next image. Oh, okay, I had some pasta and some beans, and we all know of rice and peas, okay, even though it's actually beans, not peas in the red beans, kidney beans, rice and peas. A lot of people from the Caribbean are familiar with the meal rice and peas. And she said, do something from another culture. So I don't know whose culture it is, but I thought, let's try rice and pasta. Pasta is kind of Italian-y. So I tried a rice and pasta dish, and it was really nice. So, and there was others on the group that said that they've tried that as well, and they were happy that they weren't the only person to try rice and pasta. Now, this one, I'm pretty sure you shared, Shirley. Please tell me it was you.
You got this one correct, Sharon. This one is me. So with this one, it's sunflower dressing, but we had it more creamy, so it's quite thick. So it's a sunflower dressing where we mixed sunflower seeds, water, and salt. and then just blended it. That was it. And then it came to this creamy consistency. And then in the big bowl is lettuce, courgette, spiral. Well, not really spiral, but I used the grater, and it came out like that, like a noodle looking thing. And for the courgettes, green olives, sweet corn, red peppers, red onions, and then I just put Herbamare salt on there, and that's it. Oh, and I did it with some aubergine, but I didn't show that picture. But I did some aubergine with it. Just seasoned up some aubergine and baked it, and then had it with that and some bread, and that's it.
That looks really nice. Did it take a long time to prepare?
No, it was quite quick, especially the sunflower dressing is very quick to make. Just chopped up the onions and the salad bit, and then it's very quick, probably about 15 minutes. Now,
I know, Shirley, you say that your recipe, or we should call you dashing, because you just dash a bit of this and then dash an amount of that in. But roughly, to make that amount, I couldn't really quantify it, a hand size amount, okay. How many cups of sunflower seeds did you use there, or roughly? Did you dash in?
I did.
Half a cup?
I did dash in. Yeah, you could say that. About half a cup.
Okay,
half a cup to about 1 cup of water, maybe. That might be too runny because ours was quite thick. So,
okay, so you'll have to try and see to get a kind of spreadable paste consistency.
Yes.
Okay, so when you try this, please share your message, your images. We do have Telegram groups, and I'm hoping that we're going to have a slide ready so that we can put that one up and share our screen with the information about our Telegram groups. So Janine, if you can be ready to, or get that ready so that we can share that. And then we're going to move on to a power talk, I suppose I'll give it that, from Dr. Louisa, before Dr. Gandy comes on. Now, this was a dish that was shared with us by, I will tell you who. This was shared by Tabisa, and she said it is, in fact, did Tabisa tell us what it is? I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure if Tabisa told us, but I think it looks like a red, well, the challenge was red beans, so I'm going with it's a red bean stew. So thank you very much, Tabisa, for sharing that one with us. And it looks very tasty and very, very healthy. I can see some green leaves in there as well. So maybe there's some kale or spinach and red pepper and onion. But yeah, that looks really healthy. So thank you for that one. And if we hadn't whet your appetite enough, we have another one here from one of our TTI team, Janine. Janine, are you able to unmute and tell us what's in this?
Hi, Sharon.
Hi.
So this was a Harissa black bean burger. So black bean burgers are pretty popular. I don't know which cultures will come from, but it was just made with black beans. My favorite ingredient, Harissa, onions, peppers, few other seasonings, breadcrumbs, etc. But the recipe is on my Instagram if anybody wanted the recipe, rather than me posting it in the chat because it's quite long. And I can see somebody saying, please, can we have the recipe? Is that for the burger or is that for the salad? There you go, Sharon. Someone wants a recipe for the salad as well. But yeah, so this was just a standard black bean burger, really, which is quite popular, I guess, in the plant-based world.
What's Harissa?
It's a paste, and it's got, I can't even remember the ingredients of the paste, but I kind of use it in pretty much everything. It's one of my favorite ingredients, but I think it's got like paprika, chilies, etc. in it. But yeah, it's lovely.
Okay, so one to investigate and look out for. So yes, so we do have this amazing Harissa and black bean burger sent in by Janine Fuller. Sorry, Janine Higgins. So I've known you for all your life as Janine Fuller. Right, and then we have another entry coming from person's name begins with C. This is red peas, tomatoes, garlic, onions, and pumpkin. And the person says they can't wait. And it was them that posted. Oh, Cindy, here we go. So this is Cindy's effort of the red peas. So thank you so much for sharing that, Cindy. And it does look very, very, oh man, it looks nice. It looks nice. Oh, and that was my breakfast this morning. Okay, so a seedy breakfast, bringing in some, do I even know what I put in there? Pistachios, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds in oat porridge with some raisins to sweeten and some nutmeg for flavor as well. So I think that's the end of those. So I can stop the share.
Sharon.
Louisa, yes.
Oh, Sharon,
yes.
I've also remembered also on our Telegram group, we had a beautiful testimony from one of our challenges that we've had.
We did. Can you share that with us, please? Or do you want me to read it?
You can read it, please. I don't have my my phone. Oh, Tabisa's just come on as well.
Who has?
Regarding her stew. Tabisa.
Oh, okay. Tabisa, did you want to say something about this stew while I pull up this testimony? I just need my glasses. Someone has asked for your salad recipe, Shirlene. We can direct people to the Telegram, and we can also copy and paste it in the chat.
Okay, I'll post it shortly on the on here on the chat.
Okay, so looking for the testimony. I will read this. It was amazing, 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 amazing. Okay, so here we go. I will hold the name back because this is on YouTube. Hi all, I just got back in. Praise the Lord. I got diagnosed with, not praise the Lord for the diagnosis, but she's praising the Lord. I got diagnosed with cataracts 2 years ago. I used honey and lemon drops in both eyes for approximately 6 weeks. The cataracts in both eyes reduced, hardly there at all. Right eye 1%, left eye 5%, and the left eye vision has improved. So I will need new glasses of a lesser strength. That has never happened before. Praise the Lord. I will continue with the treatment on and off for a couple of months and then get checked again. So thank you so much, sister, for your testimony. And there were a few comments, as you can imagine, in the Telegram, women's Telegram group afterwards, as well as how to do it, what to, you know. But this is something that we have shared with the platform a while ago. So yes, Cindy, amen, amen to that. Right, so Dr. Gandy should be coming on in about 25 minutes. And I know the chat is really busy. I've not even looked in it. So I'm going to invite Dr. Louisa to come on. There's a lot of praise God's going up. Indeed, God be praised. So Dr. Louisa, are you available to unmute at the moment?
Hi, Sharon. Yes, I'm here.
Hi,
How are you?
sis. Okay. Can you give us some hot information off the press?
All right. We'll see what we can do. Greetings, everyone. Janine, I just love how you say everything in standard, and all your food always looks like it's restaurant standard. I mean, I just looked at that black bean burger and I instantly got hungry. So everybody, please follow Janine, especially if you're a foodie like me. If you want your food looking very nice and tasting delicious, I have no doubt that it tastes delicious. It just looks absolutely amazing. And you know, the presentations in the last 2 weeks were absolutely spot on. A lot of the things that we don't get right is we don't put enough seeds and enough legumes and enough nuts in our diet. I've just recently come home and I realized that the packet of pumpkin seeds I left at home was still full. That meant that they had not eaten any of it. And there were 2 packets of almond nuts. None of them had been touched. There were nut butters. None of them had been touched. So I realized that, okay, so they don't know what to do with all these seeds. They just look all, you know, nuts is like you can have a handful, but that becomes a bit boring. So I just took some, like you did for breakfast. I actually put them in the green salad because they love green salad at home. I just put some toasted pumpkin seeds and some almond nuts And they said, wow, it just brings it alive. It just makes so much difference. And, you know, I showed them how to make the almond milk. And actually my mom said the homemade one tastes so much better than the one that's bought from the store. She instantly made some custard. So let's see how we can put these things in. And the reason, and I'm sure Dr. Gandy will be going into more details, is because of the nutrients that you get, you know, from the seeds and from the nuts. As well. You know, when we talk about nutrients, which is the topic for today that Dr. Gandy will be going into more detail, nutrients are little compounds in food. Okay, so when you look at food, it's not just that black bean burger that looks so nice. It's not just that seedy smoothie that looks so delicious and cooling on a hot day. It's really hot here in South Africa. So that would be very nice and refreshing. It's not just that. There are compounds in there. There are chemicals that when they come into your body, they're supposed to benefit your body. Okay. But so linking it together, they can't benefit your body. As Dr. Gandy said 2 weeks ago, they can't benefit your body if you can't break them down, digest them. They can't benefit your body if you can't metabolize them, which is breaking them down in a chemical level. They can't benefit your body if you can't absorb them into your body. And they can't also benefit your body if you can, then your body is not able to utilize them. So it's important that your digestive system be healthy. Does that make sense to everyone? So those seven wonders. Yes, go on.
Sorry, Dr. Louisa. Can we just bring Dr. Gandy on now, and then we'll catch up with this bit afterwards?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. So thank you so much for sharing with us, and we've definitely whetted our appetites. So don't run away. Edgar's tell you not to run away. Please don't run away. I'll ask you in a nice way, and we will invite Dr. Gandy to come on and share with us nutrition part 2. So thank you for speaking. Hello, Dr. Gandy. Nice to have you on the platform again.
Hi, I can hear you. How are you and how is everyone?
We're happy for seeing you, and happy Sabbath to you.
Happy Sabbath to you too. Yeah, good afternoon or good morning, good evening, depending on where you are. Let me just share my slides and we can get going. Okay, so today we are sharing nutrition part 2, and I think this topic of diet or nutrition, I know we always talk about the diet and the nutrition. So I think the diet, most of you know that most people will say, I'm on a diet, I'm on a diet, I'm on a diet, I'm on a diet. Diet can be something good, diet can be a bad one. It can be a good diet, it can be a bad diet, but nutrition, that's what your body needs. So your body needs nutrients to function well, but you can have a good diet which can give your body good nutrients, or you can have a bad diet which can give your body poor nutrients. And today we just want to see the connection between what we eat and our health. You know, it's not going to be a longer one. We cannot really cover everything, but I think one day at a time, we'll keep on breaking it into pieces as we go. And most people today, they're trying to live a healthy lifestyle, especially with the coming of COVID. You know, I've seen more people trying to do some exercise, trying to eat this soup. And we just saw some delicious stuff that the sisters were sharing about, you know, the last time challenges, the smoothies, you know, making us very hungry this afternoon. That was good. And yes, you know, your faith in your plate. This is very true. You know, there are a lot of people out there who are getting sick, not because they are unfortunate, but maybe because they invite the misfortune by the food choices that they make, either out of self-control or sometimes just because they don't make the effort to know better. Because if you want to know how to eat well, the information is available in programs like this, in some good books that you can find out there. Counsels on Diet and Foods is one of the best books. I can recommend that you get one and you start reading it. So you see, people today are killing themselves with the food that they're eating. And yes, we end up digging our own graves by the teeth, the thing that we chew. Good food choices can prevent, things like cancer, conditions like diabetes, arthritis, hypertension, hormonal imbalances. And of course, it's not food alone, it's the entire healthy lifestyle, which may include stress management. It may include, the way you live, how you sleep, exercise, all the lifestyle principles, including your faith, your trust in God. But yes, just like some of the Chinese said, that it doesn't matter what can be the father of any chronic disease, diet is always the mother, meaning that you can trace almost all the illnesses down to nutrition, down to what you eat from day to day. So the principle is to maximize the good, minimize the better, and cut out the bad. So those things that they are good for your health, good for your brain, good for your immune system, good for balancing hormones naturally, good for your liver, good for your joints. Those kind of foods, we need to maximize them. And then the better things that we eat now and then, we eat them in moderation. And anything that is, we know it's bad, we cut out. So your body is the temple of God, is therefore glorify God in your body. This is the Bible text. And there's one thing that I've learned over the years, is that what you believe is more powerful than what you know. I'm sure most of you have seen medical doctors who understand, all the pathologies about, the dangers of smoking, but they do smoke anyway. You have seen nurses, who drink alcohol like a fish, because even though they know everything about what alcohol can do in the body, because knowledge alone cannot change your lifestyle. You need to get that knowledge into your heart. It needs to become part of your belief systems. And what you believe is more powerful than what you know. What you believe has the power to transform your lifestyle. This is why the moment you believe that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, it becomes very easy for you to take care of that temple. But if you think you have a choice to abuse the body the way you want, it's my body, it's my choice, you find it harder, even if you know the right things to do. So because what you believe has the power to transform you, has the power to change your mindset, has the power to change your lifestyle. So believe in God, your God, trust him, love him, and believe what the scripture says, that yes, you're a child of God, but your body is also the temple of God. And we are stewards, and God has called us to look after this temple. So what we eat, you can eat to your health or to your grave. Yes, I know that, things like high fiber diet, eating fruits and eating dark green vegetables may not hit the headlines, but yet they are critical to your health, and the ignorance in them can be very, very expensive. There are a lot of conditions, chronic conditions, that could have been prevented only if we did everything, before to prevent the condition in the first place, just by making the right choices of the food that we eat together, of course, with a healthy lifestyle that we have been sharing on this program. So I don't know how many of you have been privileged to look like the man that you see on the screen. I haven't got to that stage yet, but you see, we are living at a time when everybody is looking for a good life. You want to eat at those fancy takeaway shops that everybody is eating from. You want to eat the chickens and the beef and all those fat things that you want to do what everybody is doing. If you look around of most of the places, when people they say, I want to go and eat out, I want to go and eat out, it's not about your health, it's about entertaining the tongue, entertaining the taste buds at the expense of your liver, at the expense of your kidneys, at the expense of your brain, at the expense of your colon, the digestive system. So, after you swallow everything that you have chewed, the next thing is not good news at all. And this good life is killing us. So we are seeing things like obesity, putting more fat around the tummy. And we are also seeing a lot of more cancers than ever before, more diabetic conditions than ever before, more hypertension conditions than ever before. And of course, today we have all these pandemics that are also taking advantage of our weaker immune systems due to the diet or the choices of the food that we make, also as well as poor lifestyle habits, having no time to eat meals. So there are people who skip breakfast, people who don't eat lunch. They just believe they are too busy for their health. People who can't remember the last time they did exercise. People who sleep 2 a.m. every day. And then all these things coming together with a poor diet, it is really making us victims. And then some will even have the habit of grazing, grazing so the same way the cows eat. So you every 1 hour you open the fridge, you take the ice cream, and then it's a banana, and then it's a fat cake. There's always something to chew. And yet the body is not designed like that, as we discussed last time during the topic of the 7 wonders of the digestive system. So this good life is really killing us. And unfortunately, unless you're like the ladies who are showing us, the recipes of the smoothies, if you learn that art, most of the times you'll find that what you get out there in the marketplace, the bad food will taste so great. The chocolate cake, the ice cream, and all those kind of junk that you are full to the brim in the supermarkets. And you know that most of our supermarkets are full to the brim with food no one should be eating. Somebody said that if you buy food that is packed in a beautiful pack, before you open the pack, read the ingredients. If you can't pronounce them, don't eat it, because what you're failing to pronounce may be toxic to your body. So why eating healthy? What's the point? Most people, they think it's the physician's job to fix you up when you're broken. I mean, they are mechanics. They are trained to do that. And yes, that is very true. But remember, prevention is better than cure. So even though we have physicians who can fix us when we are broken, but if we don't take care of this body temple, if we don't become good stewards, soon this vehicle that you have, this body, it will become a scrap. It will become a scrap. It will degenerate very quickly when it could have lasted longer. So yes, you may still have life, but it may be poor, healthy life. You may be in pain. You end up walking around with a basket of chronic medication all the time. When by God's design, we are supposed to enjoy a measure of good health to the very end. Yes, we are living in a world where we can always get sick from this, have that flu. But even then, when you got these acute conditions, the body must be able to fight back quickly, and maybe with some remedies, be able to recover as quickly as possible. So to prevent, it's much better than cure. And even trying to treat a chronic condition is more expensive than trying to prevent it. I've heard a lot of people who say, no, I can't eat almonds because they're expensive. I cannot eat, I cannot afford flaxseed. I cannot afford sunflower seeds. But most of these people, when they are sick, they afford very expensive treatment bills from the hospital. So what could be best, investing the money now in healthy foods, that to prevent those chronic conditions, than trying to invest it, in medical procedures that could have been prevented if somebody took the opportunity, just to invest in good things. I've always said to people, if you don't drink alcohol, it means you're saving a lot of money. Why can't you use your alcohol money to buy nuts and seeds, to buy some whole grains, to buy some of those things that you believe they are expensive? Because people who drink alcohol, they spend a lot of money every weekend. You can, and they do that to damage their own health. Why can't you do the same? Spend the same amount of money while investing in buying good ingredients, buying that lecithin that you can make your own healthy bath at home, buying that tofu that you can use to make some scrambled tofu, whatever, or you think is going to excite you. Buy some coconut oil, some olive oil. I mean, it's your alcohol money. You don't drink alcohol, so invest it in a healthy way. And yes, this is my favorite verse from the Bible. Beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. That's 3 John verse 2. Of all the blessings we have in this life, whether it's education, it's riches, or whatever you're doing in life, you can, even family life, you can only appreciate it when you have the blessing of health. Everything becomes nothing when good health is missing. This is why the Bible says, yes, I want you to prosper in all things, but I also want you to be in good health. Because without good health, you will not enjoy the prosperity that God has given you. Whatever life you are living, you need good health to appreciate it. When you're in good health, you can enjoy a bicycle, cycling a bicycle, but when you have poor health, you cannot enjoy driving a Mercedes-Benz. So you can see that even the little things in life can be highly appreciated when you have a measure of good health. So we did speak last time the importance of using your teeth and making good food choices, and of course the importance of eating fiber to prevent constipation. And you see some of the foods that we are eating today, things like the highly refined food, or everything that is made from highly refined white flour, whether you're eating it in the form of spaghetti, pasta, but you know that the pasta is not the one that is coming from the whole wheat flour. All those things that are made of a food that is devoid of nutrients, devoid of the fiber, which works like a broom to clean your small and large intestines, absorbing the excess body fat, absorbing the excess glucose, and dump it, make it part of the feces, and you defecate it out of the system. When you're eating more of that, this is how we actually, and then you're eating food that also gives you more glucose, which may end up giving you this condition that they call at the hospital hyperinsulinemia, because you're pumping more glucose because of eating food that is also high in glucose. You end up initiating most of these cancers. and these can be prevented just if you go back to the original. Eat the grains the way God created them. Eat the whole grain, as much as you can, as much as it is according to your choice. Get the whole grain, whether it's whole wheat, buy the whole wheat grain, make your own flour, bake your own bread, carrot cake, whatever muffin you want to make. With all the fibers in it, with all the proteins and the vitamins and the minerals in it. The same thing with rice, go brown, whether sorghum, it's millet, whatever grain you eat where you are, go for the whole grain. You do yourself a favor by doing that. But the moment you go for these refined grains, you are putting your life at a risk. So food with additives, preservatives, flavor enhancers, monosodium glutamate, we all know all these things are not wonderful. Pesticides, which some people spray in vegetables. I think we have spoken about this in the past, that it is high time we start growing our own food. If you're living in the city, then you may need maybe to grow your own vegetables in the tins, in the bags, in the containers, at the backyard kitchen. If you're in the countryside, maybe you have more land, you may even do better, you may do eco gardens, you may do raised beds, you may do hanging gardens, you may do anything that will make the home look nice and beautiful, at the same time growing as much wider variety of vegetables as you can. Because if you depend on the supermarket, we know very well that the commercial farmers who use pesticides to preserve the veggies and the fruits so that they don't rot or they don't get infected and they can make more profit. At the end of the day, it's about profit. It's not about your health. As much as you can help, avoid eating food that is preserved. I wonder sometimes, I see people buying beans from the tin for Happy Sabbath, when they can actually buy beans from the local market and cook them at home and eat beans without all those preservatives. If you buy a tin of beans and try to read the ingredients, you're going to find that there are more than 17 ingredients. What you're eating is not just beans. There are even some chemicals that you cannot pronounce. So why should you really commit suicide while trying to eat something to satisfy hunger, when you can do the same thing, just to enjoy a healthy meal at home? So you can soak your beans overnight if you want to reduce the trouble of boiling your beans for 4 hours. Soak them overnight, rinse out your beans and then cook them. And within an hour, you may have beans that are ready to be done, anything, to make a soup, to make a gravy, to make whatever you'd like to make with it. And of course, I like this verse from the Bible, Proverbs, I think it's 31. It is talking about a vicious woman. And in verse 27, it says, she does not give her family laser bread. And I believe the laser bread is the fast food industry that we see today, where you just go, drive in, take a pizza, and you bring it home, cut it into pieces. So someone will have, a good handful of cheese, which is not really good for anyone, not good for the health of anything in your body. All it can do is havoc, and it can damage the system. Even it's one of the things that can also contribute to digestive system type of cancers. And yes, as much as we can help, unless it is you're in a time of emergency, but look, if you can get fresh beans, if you can make a tofu, if you can get food from your garden, or from the fresh food market, where you can get better alternatives, and to your kitchen, and you cook them nicely, without even damaging them. Some people, they buy healthy food only to damage it in the kitchen. So you take potatoes that we know they're very good. I have used potatoes to treat stomach ulcers and other inflammation kind of conditions. But then you take the potatoes and you baptize them in cooking oil. just because you want to make something called, chips, which can still be achieved just by baking your potatoes. You cut them the same shape of the chips, put them in the oven, bake them, and you have them without the baptism in the cooking oil, which will damage the chips, making it more toxic, making how difficult to be metabolized, putting a burden on your liver to eliminate all those toxins. And you do that long enough, you actually damage the very organ God created to save you. And this is how we end up having all those liver cancers. And yes, we need to learn as much as we can help that we avoid these kind of foods. And of course, we know also things like alcoholic kind of things, they are not good for your liver. And I assume I am speaking to the converted here, people who don't make use of red wine, which they say is good for your heart. They only forget to tell you that it's not good for your liver. So if you live alcohol-free life, you love your lemon water, your cucumber water, all your alkaline waters that you have where you are, that is beautiful. And of course, yes, we can see that we are living in a world of civilization, and what we call civilization is actually maybe a bad way of eating. You want to eat a hot dog because your bosses are eating them, and you want to eat a breakfast that looks like the one on your left-hand side. And yet this can also be prevented just by eating the opposite side, where you see the whole wheat bread. And to demonstrate the one that you bake yourself at home, get more of the fruits, the peppers, all these colors are wonderful to your body in terms of preventing cancer. But if you're eating like this, more animal products, animal protein, we have known it for so many years not to be good for health. But yes, even today's medical science, you can read as many medical journals as you can find them. You'll find that the more animal protein you eat, the higher the risk for you to get colon or prostate or uterus or breast cancer. So it is wise that maybe it's high time we should consider going for plant-based protein. Just to remember, the plant-based protein, if you look at the legume family, for example, you get what is called 7 essential amino acids, which are the building blocks of the protein. There's one that is missing. While in the grains, you also get 7 essential, I'm talking of the whole grains, that's your brown rice, your whole wheat, your whole maize, your whole sorghum. You also get the 7 essential amino acids, but there's one that is missing. This is the good news. The one that is missing in the grains, you get it from the legumes, and the one that is missing in the legumes, you get it from the grains. So when you eat a whole grain with a legume, you get all the 8 essential amino acids. That's the same quality of protein that you may get from the chicken, from the egg, from the beef, but without the disadvantages that come with these animal products, the arachidonic acids and the cholesterol and things like that. So if we can leave these things alone, if you can allow the cow to have another happy birthday, maybe we can have a little bit more, because we cannot win the battle of eating animals. There's always a revenge in our bodies. So you eat enough cows, you eat enough chickens, as time go by, you have arthritis, you have this cancer, you have these chronic conditions. We call that the revenge of the animals. So why can't we win the battle by leaving them alone and eat and go back into the Garden of Eden, and as much as we can learn to make this food from the garden appetizing, delicious, without damaging or destroying the nutritional value that comes with it. You can cook beans and look like food for prisoners, but you can also cook beans and make them delicious and look like you're at a 5-star hotel. So you don't need actually to go to the hotel to enjoy healthy meals. You can turn your home into a hotel just by applying some recipes that are shared in this program. Try them at home, one step at a time, one recipe at a time. Yes, you may not be as great as a French chef but you definitely be the best chef for your family. You know, you try to eat a wider variety of food. You know, the avocados, if they're in season, make use of them. They are very good sources of healthy fats. I've heard some people saying, oh, I don't eat avocados. They are fattening. No, they have good fats. You need good fats to lose the bad fats. So yes, we get all these cholesterol from, you know, the bad diets. But even when we are eating bad food that is toxic, we also make our own cholesterol in the body. And these good things, the olives, the sunflower seeds, the flax seeds, the avocados, they help you to dissolve that. So avoid these kind of meals as much as you can help. And I think much has been said about this. I assume I'm talking to the converted, and I assume no one is eating these kind of drinks today, because it's like drinking your own life. You put these fizzy drinks in your body with lots of sugar, they actually suppress your immune system. And not only that, they can even mess up your metabolism, they mess up your blood sugar. And you do this long enough, they can even, the entire hormonal system can be messed up. Not a very good idea. I think they're only good at cleaning some tools if you're a mechanic, because they have lots of acid, phosphoric acid, which is good for cleaning, you know, some gardening tools or some mechanical tools if they have some rust here and there. So yes, maybe you can buy them, but for cleaning, not for drinking. You just imagine how many teaspoons you get from one, you know, glass of fizzy drinks. It's terrible. So yes, we have enjoyed these things in birthdays, but you can still make a healthy, even cake on your birthday. You know, a birthday doesn't need to be a terrible day. You can make a cashew cake, you can make a carrot cake. You know, there's so many recipes that are shared week after week on this forum that you can take advantage of. That even when you have a party, I mean, you are celebrating a birthday or something at home, you know, or it's just a happy Sabbath dessert, it still needs to be a healthier option. But at the same time, it must never be delicious free. It has to be good. So yes, avoid this kind of foods, as I've already mentioned. Of course, caffeine. Also look for caffeine in some of the food that is a process. You know, there's many of us may say, I don't drink coffee, I don't drink caffeinated teas, I only take some of these herbal teas. But also check some of the products that you buy if they've got caffeine in them, because it will do the same harm. It functions like a drug. You know, it will stimulate your adrenal glands and you end up pumping up adrenaline, which will convert glucogen in your liver, making it into this emergency energy that you don't need. Because by taking these caffeinated drinks, you're shocking the system, thinking that you're running away from a lion and there's no lion coming. You just have this sugar now flooding in your blood, doing nothing. Go alcohol free and avoid animal-based foods, you know, red meats, dark meat, poultry, whatever names, nice names are there. White meat, you know, there's nothing really white about it. It's just the same evil. Don't go with the flow, and yes, don't breastfeed from the cow. You know, I have met a lot of children who are having, you know, allergies, lots of allergies, simply because of depending on cow's milk. According to God's wisdom, humans are supposed to have milk from their mothers, from humans. Until that time when it's now for them to stop breastfeeding and they start eating solid food. And yet today we keep on breastfeeding the cow, even we as adults. And today there are even so many disadvantages of depending on a cow's milk, including the hormones that are injected to these cows so that they can produce more milk. Which in most cases we know they interfere with the hormones in our bodies, and they also trigger a lot of acute and sometimes chronic conditions that can be prevented. But if you're crazy about milk, there are better ways of, you know, giving yourself that lifestyle of living in the land of milk and honey. You can make soya milk at home. You can make almond milk. You can make cashew nut milk. You can make sunflower seeds milk. And I think much of the things are always shared on this forum. So yes, leave the cow's milk for the cows and go to the plant-based. Changing to a healthier lifestyle, is like a child who is learning how to walk. You make baby steps. I remember 20 years ago, when I was trying to change my lifestyle from animal-based to plant-based, from junk to a healthier options. It was not the easiest. But one thing that I learned is that, when you make a choice to be a steward, when you make a choice to take care of the body temple, and you start walking one step at a time, you may fall down. Sometimes you may just find you have eaten that junk food again that you love so much. You may just discover that you have just another piece of a chicken, but you don't give up. It doesn't mean that you have failed. Just because you made resolutions last week not to have another fizzy drink, and by accident you just find yourself with having another fizzy drink, it doesn't mean you have failed. Just like a child who is learning how to walk, you stand up and try again. Stand up and try again. Stand up and try again. Before you know, you start running around all over the place with a healthy lifestyle without being bothered. So yes, start from the beginning with our children. We need to teach them to make healthy snacks, delicious things, and avoid having these supersized kids that can actually end up having a lot of chronic conditions at a very young age. I remember when I was a child, this is how we used to enjoy our fruits. And this is not me, by the way, but that is, I'm missing those days when we enjoyed eating natural fruits from the garden freely. But today, advertising cannot compete with nutrition education. We are talking and chatting on this program. And as soon as this program is done, you're going to watch a powerful advert on TV telling you where to go and what to eat. But follow the wisdom, follow the knowledge, and remember, you are the temple of God. So when you go shopping, get the right ingredients, because you cannot have healthy meals at home if you're not shopping healthy meals. So you start with the shopping, go buy whole grains, know where to get tofu, go know where to get all the healthy stuff. I have learned even people, who eat the bad things, they know where to find it. And I've also learned that the moment you start making good choices on what to eat, you even know where to find them, even in a complicated place. So let us kiss these kind of things goodbye so that we can protect our bodies. And yes, it is possible to change your lifestyle because that's how it should be done. It's not about going on a diet, but it's about changing the mindset, changing the way you live, changing the way you eat. And then it is possible. You can do it. Whatever habit, it doesn't matter for how long you have lived it, but when you choose to change with God's help, it is possible you can do it. And God's will is that we must live well to the very end with a smiling face, without any pain. And if it is God's will, yes, to do that. And so that we can serve him better and we can be a blessing to the community. It's not necessarily about living 100 years. I don't even know if we have 100 years to live, but it's about living a healthy life. So because the body belongs to him, we are the temple of God. It's about being a steward, a good steward. Even if you're going to live for 6 months, you should be happy. You looked after the temple of God very well. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 12, it reads, a prudent person foresees the danger ahead and takes precautions. The simpleton goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. There are a lot of side effects that one can enjoy when living a healthy lifestyle: strong immune system, good memory, forever young, a healthy life, and less stress. And of course, yes, it's not just about diet, but it's about following the entire God's plan, where you trust in God, you enjoy fresh air out in the garden, getting involved in daily exercise, whether it's working in the garden or it's going for a walk, or whether it's swimming, sunshine is some exposure on the sun in the morning, mid-morning and maybe mid-afternoon, having proper rest, drinking lots of water, and yes, abstaining from anything that is harmful, taking in moderation what is good, and enjoying those, and of course, as the topic that we are now talking now, good nutrition, going back into the Garden of Eden. When we do that, there are no limits on what we can accomplish by God's grace. As we honor him, I believe he will also honor us. May the Lord bless you as you take more challenges week after week in living a healthy life and glorifying and honoring God. Thank you. Amen.
Amen, amen, amen. Thank you so much, Dr. Gandy, for taking us through this tour of yes, we can live a healthy life. And I really like the way you shared with us that if we're having beans, it's easy to have beans, but you don't want it to look like beans for a prisoner. You can make a healthy, tasty meal. And also when you said about the drinks, you were saying that yes, you can buy those drinks for your cleaning, not for your insides. And there's so many pointers that you've shared with us, so thank you once again, and we look forward to seeing. Have you got a challenge?
Yes, I think the challenge, I was thinking of this challenge, which I'm also going to challenge myself, and that is to try those unusual grains like millet, sorghum, quinoa, and can make them delicious to the point where they can excite your children who are not used to them.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. We're looking forward to people's recipes with these grains that we don't normally use. Some call them the ancient grains, the millets, the quinoa and sorghum and all these other grains. So thank you so much for that presentation, and we wish you all the best as you go on to another platform. So apologies that you're unable to stop with us, and but we will be taking questions in the chat, and Dr. Louisa will be on here to answer the questions. So thank you once again for presenting. We look forward to having you on here again, because you are part of our TTI family, and all the best to your family as well, and for your challenge as well, because we'll check up on you and see how well you've been able to do the challenge as well, Dr. Gandy. It's here, it's live, it's broadcast, it's on YouTube, so we have many witnesses. Okay, so thank you once again. Now, Dr. Gandy shared with us about different types of milks, and some of you may be thinking, right, well, yes, he made it clear that we shouldn't be breastfeeding from the cow. And we do have some cooking demos that will be coming up. Last year, we did the month of December, 4 weeks, 4 different, 3 chefs, 4 weeks. And on the fourth week, we had all 3 chefs together. This year, we're going to have some more cooking in the month of December. We may be sharing with you how to make these healthy plant-based milks, because they're so simple. They really are simple. So we're looking forward to seeing what our chefs are going to be coming up with in this December. But more to that, more news to that as we get closer to the day. Now, before we run further with some more questions, we will be taking your questions, so stay tuned and don't go anywhere. I'm just going to quickly run our promo slide for those of you who have not seen these slides before. So I'm just trying to press. It's not doing it. Okay, I'll do it from here then. Okay, we'll get there. Right, so hopefully you can all see that. Yep, great stuff. So as you know, we've just done part 2 of nutrition with Dr. Gandy Madzalo. So for those of you who were unaware, this is who has been presenting. And that's what you've just been listening to. We've looked at the disclaimer already. And so this is the Telegram groups we were telling you about earlier. We have 3 Telegram groups that we invite you to join. They are the men's wellness group, the women's wellness group, and our spiritual health group. So there should be 2 groups on there that are relevant to everybody who's on this platform right now, either the men's and the spiritual, or the women's and the spiritual, or maybe you just want to do the women's, or just do the men's, or just do the spiritual. So there are groups there that are there for you, and what we do is we keep in touch with each other during the week. So we could be sharing encouragement, sharing recipes, sharing questions and answers, and the links to the different presentations. So the link to today's presentation will go on there. But if you wish, you can just go on our YouTube channel, and you'll be able to access the presentation that we've just had. Okay, and every Thursday we have a healthy lifestyle and well-being show based on essential oils. Now, this is something that a few of the True Temperance International team members are involved in, and we do presentations to show you how you can use these essential oils to enhance your well-being. So the current series is New Start in a COVID World with Essential Oils. And as you can see, we started with nutrition on the 9th of September. We have just gone to temperance, that was Thursday gone, and we still have A, R, and T from the art bit from New Start. So we have those coming up still. So this Thursday, the 14th of October, we'll be doing our essential oils presentation on air. And I'm pretty sure I know which, at least one oil that's going to be coming up on that. But it's at 7 p.m. UK time. So just adjust the time for where you are. And basically today's presentation started at 3, so whatever time it was for you, that's your time difference, and then we can look forward to seeing you on Thursday. We also have on a Tuesday, so that's 2 days before the essential oils group, we have a study time where we're learning a lot about what does the scriptures say about our spiritual well-being. And the series currently that's on the platform is the Battle for the Mind series. So we launched that this Tuesday just gone, God's Grand Design, and we had a very, very lively discussion, especially towards the end. People took a little bit of a time to warm up to unmuting, and then once we got going, there was no stopping. We had to, well, obviously we had to stop, because we couldn't go on forever. Sorry, there's a bit of sounds in my kitchen right now, please. So yes, so please feel free to join us. As you can see, there is an ID and a passcode. So it's not the same ID that you're on for today. It's a different ID, but it's it is 869-8935-8138, and the passcode is there, 861932. Shirley, I'm just going to go back a bit. Can you just share with us? I've just realized your camera's on. So are you able to unmute and share with those who may want to see have we got the ID on this one? Sorry, I've got things in front on my slide. Can you see the ID on this one, Shirley? Let's have a look. Yes, it is there, but I just can't see it on my screen. Shirley,
yes. Oh, sorry. So the the Zoom ID for the essential oil class is 829-9752-4481.
Thank you, Shirley. And I'm just going to ask, as I go forwards to the next. Right, could you tell us a little bit about this one, Shirley? And I think we might have one more slide after this.
Okay, so this one is a detox program, a 10-day detox program with Louise. Louise Reed, she spoke on our platform, I think beginning of the year or so, on detox. What's the fuss about detox? and how important it is to detox our system, and how it can help with so many different issues that you may be suffering from. So she's doing a 10-day detox program. So it's from the 7th to the 16th of November, and please contact her on 07833497532, where she will give you more information regarding it.
Thank you, Charlene. And thank you everybody for your support, for coming on, for staying with us for how many, probably about 18 months now, possibly a bit longer, I'm not sure. And for inviting your friends, thanking you all for your support, with the encouragement and sharing our links. We also do have TTR, True Temperance International bank account. If there's anybody that wishes to bless us with finances, we can share our account details with you. So just contact any one of the admin team and we'll be able to do that. We appreciate all your encouragement, whether through prayers, through support, through coming on, through asking us questions that get us thinking. And so at this point, I'm going to ask you if there are any questions. Are there any questions in the chat, Shirley?
No, not that I can, that I saw.
Okay. So
Yeah,
we see someone.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, say that again, Shirley.
It's more so thank yous and the recipes.
Okay, so
that I can see.
So we did have the recipe for your salad that went in the chat earlier. We also had the Plant Easy Instagram information for the burger recipe. The was it black bean and harissa? And also someone says they're looking forward to the milk recipe. Blessings. Yes, there's quite a few recipes. We have plant-based milks every day, so there's a lot that we can share with you. So I am just going to ask if there's anybody that has any questions that you would like to present to Dr. Komotso, to ask those questions. However, we're going to ask Dr. Komotso to unmute, and she was making a really interesting point before Dr. Gandy spoke. So I'm going to invite you to come on, and if you can remember where you left off. I need to stop sharing my screen. Okay, here we go. So, Dr. Louisa.
Well, you know, I'm getting old, yeah, so I don't quite remember things as well as I used to. And I think I was just captivated by Dr. Gandy. He always makes things seem so easy, and he really speaks to the human mind. We like to entertain our taste buds, isn't it, at the expense of our organs and our health and our well-being. But I just, as he was talking, I went on Janine's Instagram, and there are some amazing foods there, you know, that will both entertain your taste buds as well as allow you to have the nutrition that Dr. Gandy was talking about. Because as a medical doctor, the truth of the matter is, I see a lot of patients that come and we diagnose them with lifestyle diseases that truly, if you dig deep enough, are because of nutritional deficiencies. For example, last week, the presentation was on the triple M, isn't it? And one of them was magnesium. Magnesium is highly critical for patients with heart issues, and it's because they don't have enough magnesium. We see a lot of people that have muscle cramps, and that's also because of magnesium deficiency. And you would wonder how, because 60% of magnesium is stored in the bone and then it's stored in the muscles. So it goes to show just how deficient we are. But you know, Sharon, it was interesting. I love working with kids. I went on a camp about 2 months ago, and I was teaching the kids the 8 laws of health and about eating healthy. And I said, what's the healthiest food you guys eat? They said, a McDonald's burger. And I said, how in heaven's world is a McDonald's burger healthy? They said, well, it's got lettuce and it's got tomato, so there's vitamin C in there, and they have it with the orange juice from their and there's potatoes, and potatoes are healthy. As Dr. Gandy said, yes, potatoes are healthy, but when you baptize them in oil, then you really then add 80% more calories to it, and that can lead to heart diseases and obesity and these things. But these kids, well, they said they were pulling my leg, but they were justifying entertaining their taste buds. So what I'm really saying to everybody is, a lot of the diseases that I see as a medical doctor comes from nutritional deficiencies. We are not eating to keep our body working well. The next time you eat something, you have to ask yourself, what am I putting into my body? And it's not only just nutritional deficiencies, that's one aspect of it. It's also that we are putting toxins into our body. So not only are we depriving our body of what they need, but we're also giving our body things that are going to stop the body from working well. There are so many toxins, you know, in the world. And I was speaking to the Lord one of these days, and I said, Lord, there's so many toxins. I mean, we're just all gonna die, isn't it? And just be unhealthy no matter how well we do. And one of the things that, you know, God is good. God is good. That's why we're fearfully and wonderfully made. He took all of that into consideration when he designed us and when he gave us the food we're supposed to eat. One of the most powerful things you can have in your diet is antioxidants. And these are things you can find in your raw food, your fruits, especially your fruits, your mulberries. I saw that you had mulberries in your smoothies. If you have a diet that is high in antioxidants, because let's tell the truth, we don't all just boil our food, isn't it? It doesn't taste so nice. We don't just, you know, I saw, Janine, that you use an air fryer, which is a wonderful way of, you know, reducing the fat in the food. But not everything is going to be perfect. For those people who don't have their gardens and you're buying your food from the store and it's got pesticides, you're thinking, oh, I should just stop eating. No, as much as we know that toxins are coming into our body, what you need to make sure you do is you have higher and greater levels of antioxidants. What antioxidants do is anti is against oxidation. Oxidation is, you know, when you have a pole outside and it rains and it rusts, that causes damage to it. So the same thing happens in our body. The toxins and byproducts of whatever the body is doing can cause damage to our cells. When we take antioxidants, what they do, they come into our body and they protect our cells and they fix them. So we need to have higher levels of antioxidants in our diet. Then any damage that has been done can be repaired, and any protection that needs to happen then will happen when we do that. So I'm hoping you guys have questions, because I can talk for a day and a half about this. But remember this: number one, many of the diseases that you have are caused by nutritional deficiencies and toxins that we put into our body. And not only do we end up with the disease, we end up with a digestive system that is not able to function. So by the time a lot of people change their diet, Shailene, we often find that they have caused damage to their teeth. I saw a guy, he was scheduled. I remember Dr. Gandy said there are 7 wonders. I think the second wonder was the salivary glands. This guy was scheduled to have an operation to remove his salivary glands. And I said, God forbid, you need your salivary glands. I mean, it's not just making saliva so you can swallow. Your salivary glands actually make amylase, which is an enzyme to digest the starch that you eat, which is essential for energy. How can they even be saying that? And that's because he had stones in his salivary glands and they were swollen. And, you know, I just told him to just start using a lot of lemon to just dissolve the stones, drink a lot of water. You know, he was quite highly acidic and he came fine. Thank God that the operation didn't happen. So it's important that we look after those 7 wonders of the digestive system, because then by the time after 40 years of eating unhealthy, by the time you want to change your diet, you find that you've lost your teeth, your salivary glands aren't working, you're not able to swallow, so your esophagus, things are getting, you know, caught up. You've got digestive issues, so you can't eat beans because then you feel bloated and you feel gassy and you just don't feel nice, and you are not able to break down and assimilate the foods. And one of the important things that a person needs to do is to correct their digestive system. And that's why I would recommend, for those who are able to join Louise join her on the detox program because it helps. It helps to do that. We also have a DIY at Kwamtamani. I work with Jason Williams. We also have a DIY detox program, a 12-day and a 21-day. You get everything that you need in there, and you can also have it customized. So look after your digestive system, eat food that, yes, tantalize your taste buds, but also give your body what it needs to be able to function so that you're healthy to live out your life and do the things you need to do. I don't know if Sharon, Shalene, or anybody else has something that they want to add or to say before I continue rambling on about this beautiful body and the foods that we can have.
There is a question actually. Oh, take my glasses off. There is a question on the chat as you was talking about antioxidants in our natural foods. Someone's asked, Carol's asked, what about antioxidants in green tea? Is green tea good once a day? And I know there's variants on what you mean by green tea. Some people mean nettle and others mean green tea.
All right. No, thanks for clarifying that, because ultimately when I think of green tea, I think of the one that has caffeine in it. And I'm averse to that because caffeine it has a dehydrating effect on the body because it's diuretic. It reduces blood flow to your brain by about 40%. So anything with caffeine, unless you have a specific reason why you're trying to use caffeine. I've only met one person in my entire 41 years of life who was on caffeine and he understood why he needed to be using it. So yes, but I mean, because there are other better ways, isn't it? Vitamin C is a wonderful antioxidant that you get from your fruits. Vitamin E is also an antioxidant. Take care of your liver, yeah? Don't listen to us doctors telling you to have a glass of red wine a day, which is good for your heart, but terrible for your liver. Take care of your liver. Your liver actually is a filter. It has so many different functions that it can only do. And one of the great functions of the liver is to make a very potent antioxidant called glutathione. It just protects you, especially if you're a smoker. I know we don't encourage smoking, but I know there are some people that are challenged and they're still smoking. You want to be making glutathione. So if you're a smoker or you're eating a lot of greasy foods and you're struggling with giving them up, or you're having a lot of toxins in your body, you like to dye your hair, you're still using chemicals, you want to be increasing the glutathione in your diet. So eat a variety of foods to get the amino acids, but one of the supplements you can take is NAC, N-acetylcysteine, because it assists the body to be able to make the glutathione. And what it does is when you also have your vitamin C, it helps all the antioxidants to be recycled, okay? And if you can get it, you can get a glutathione in IV drip. It also helps ladies to brighten their skin, simply because it just kind of protects you. So there are other ways to, in short, Sharon, I go the long way. There are other ways to get your antioxidants. If you're going to be having a green tea, try not to have one that has caffeine in it. I love caffeine, but I know that it's not good for your heart. It increases your heart rate and the work, and it affects your brain function as well.
So we're talking about finding something that's good for you with positive side effects, and not the green tea that's called green tea and has negative side effects. Yes, there are antioxidants in there, but there's, as you shared with us, there's so many healthier options of getting of getting antioxidants. Someone called Mary on here says, thank you, it's really important to get antioxidants into the body. I found one so great. It's the best antioxidant. Water. Now, please, is that a substance that we can actually get water from? Get antioxidants from? Can you get antioxidants from water?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but I understand. Water is quite protective on our body. 70% of our body is made up of water. It has a flushing and a cleaning effect, especially on our colon, which is where a lot of toxins get absorbed from. We're talking about nutrition today, and I guess we didn't get to go into, like Dr. Gandy said, it is such a vast topic. We didn't look at all the different nutrients we need. We primarily need carbohydrates. I know a lot of dietitians and nutritionists. There's a lot of different conversations about the main nutrient that we need. But as herbivores, human beings that we are by design, carbohydrates are the fuel of choice when you look at how efficiently the body uses them. Okay, so we need carbohydrates. So you need to ask yourself, you've got your carbohydrates. We need proteins, not as much as we're getting. Okay, a lot of people are very much obsessed with proteins, but once we're out of the growing phase, we don't need so many proteins unless you're recovering from an illness or severe stress or anything like that. Then we need some good healthy fats. So yes, avocado, you may consider it fattening, but avocado is a great source of vitamin E as well. Wonderful for your skin. Everybody should be loving avocado. All right, so we need some good fats. We get them from the nuts as well. And then we need water. Absolutely right. We need water. It is a nutrient that we need. We need fiber, okay? And then we need minerals and we need vitamins as well. So one of the great things, Sharon, with the seeds challenge that we posted is that the seeds are very high in fiber and they're very high in minerals, including the magnesium that was discussed last week about its ability to help with the nerve functions, with the muscle functions, with regulating your heart as well. So these nutrients are important. But guess what? These nutrients are not only important for you. These nutrients are also important for the microbiome in your gut, which was also discussed last week. So do you see how all these things fit together? The microorganisms are these organisms, the bacteria and fungi that live in and on your body, but for your good. There are good ones and there are bad ones. So depending on what you eat, you feed either the good ones or the bad ones. So if you're eating a diet full of your crisps, your fried foods, and things like that, you're actually allowing growth of the unhealthy ones. I don't know if a lot of people have noticed, if you eat unhealthy food for a while, your tummy starts to feel funny, you know, the gas that you pass starts to smell a bit strange. That is telling you that your gut microbe has also changed. But when you start eating a lot of fiber, you know, including your bananas and your fiber that's not digested, what happens is that they feed your good bacteria. And as almost like as a thank you, as saying, you know, thank you for feeding us the good ones. They make good things for you, you know, including serotonin. I think about 80% of serotonin, if not more, is made in the gut. Now, serotonin is a chemical that helps to keep us calm. So a lot of people suffer from anxieties because they're not feeding the right organisms in their gut. And so you would say, okay, so how do I quickly put the right organisms in my gut? Well, one of the things you can do is make sauerkraut. I know Janine loves sauerkraut, so I'm sure on Plant Easy, there is a recipe for sauerkraut. It is a fermented probiotic food. It's good for your digestive system. It's good for your microbe, and it is loaded with nutrients. So these are some of the things that we need to understand, where food is tantalizing, but it's also your medicine. As a doctor, by the way, I'm not trained to cure you or make you well. I'm trained to help you manage your disease. Now, I don't know about you. I don't want to be managing no disease. I want to be living. I want to be running around. I don't want to be popping pills. So, you know, the amount of money that I would be using on medication for diabetes and high blood pressure, I would rather just take that money and buy the nuts and the seeds and all these healthy things and just be in the kitchen and be cooking up a storm and enjoying things. Because by the time you get sick, a lot of the food you can't even enjoy anymore. You know, so yeah, there's a lot to be said about nutrition. But as Dr. Gandy said, just because food is medicine doesn't mean it must taste like medicine. So let's get the right balance. And I'm looking also forward to December. Last year, December was exciting. It was Christmas food. It was exciting. It was festive time food. So I'm looking forward to what the chefs have in store, because they would know what they're putting in for flavor using the different kinds of herbs, and they will know what they're using to just give us the good nutrients. So I want to open up the floor and allow people to share whatever it is they would like to share. Sharon, Charlene.
Okay, so thank you for that answer with regards to should we be having green tea? Okay. And does water have antioxidants? Okay, so yes, so thank you very much for that answer. It's very informative there, and got our minds thinking more about alternatives and lifestyle changes. So Charlene, did you see any questions in the chat? I think there's possibly one from Carol.
I didn't see any questions, but regarding the water, it's a machine. The antioxidant water machine. That's what not sure who posted it though. Mary? Yeah, Mary was referring to.
Oh, okay, a different kind of
machine,
water. That's
yes,
right. Yeah. Okay, there is a question here. It says, what is the best warm drink to have in the morning if you're living in a cold country? So a warm drink with antioxidants. I suppose hot blackcurrant tea, maybe, or
elderberry.
In fact, I bought a recent some tea bags with elderberry. Oh, I left it. It's at work. It's for my work locker. It's got elderberry. It's got blackberry, blackcurrant, and echinacea. Those 4. So would you suggest that was a good tea to have, an antioxidant tea?
That sounds good. My favorite personally is hibiscus tea. I love the color, and I love all things sour. So
what tea did you say?
Hibiscus.
Oh, okay.
Sorrel.
Yes, sorrel.
Some people say sorrel, hibiscus, but you're on mute, Sharon.
We have had a debate whether hibiscus and sorrel is the same.
We did, so I'm not going to go down that route today.
I'll stick to hibiscus. I will call it hibiscus.
On the
hibiscus.
So stick with hibiscus.
We'll say to hibiscus, yes, for today.
But coming back to, I'm not sure if his question is just for something warm, because a lot of people are drinking like your teas and your coffees. But if you have inflammatory conditions, you can make an anti-inflammatory tea where you just put some turmeric with a bit of ginger, some cayenne pepper to help with the blood flow. Then once you put your hot water in, then you put some lemon in it, and lemon is high in vitamin C, which is an antioxidant. So that's a powerful combination. I think everybody should be doing that on the regular, because we do get to be in a state of inflammation. So consider that as well. But if you're looking for something to replace the teas and the coffees and the hot chocolates, I think things like your maca powders, but you must combine them right, otherwise they have a funny taste. That can help you make some nice drinks. I suppose we can make that also something to share when we do recipes on hot beverages to replace what people currently are drinking.
Yeah. Whoops, there's a couple of multi-devices in the same place, but that's okay, that happens. Was you going to say something, Shirley, before we take Louise Reed's hand? Louise Reed is the person who's doing the detox program, so maybe she wants to share something from that. If not, we'll take her point. Or was it, yeah, Shirley's got one finger up. Okay, one finger. What does that mean? Does that mean you're going to unmute now? Or you'll be back?
How to do this when you have different devices. Even rose hips are out now as well. So the rose hips is another thing.
I just saw some on my walk, because I went on a walk just before the program. I saw rose hip and what's the other one that's good for the heart? Hawthorne berries.
Hawthorne berry.
Lots of hawthorne berries and rose hips. In the UK now, I'm sure they're plentiful in other places as well. Right then, so Louise, do you have a question for us? This can be a bit confusing now. We've got Dr. Louisa and we've got Louise Reed, and we may also have on here Louise McQueen. And if there's anyone whose middle name is Louise, then here you're in good company. So yes, Louise Reed.
Hi Sharon, Dr. Komoso, Charlene, and everybody. Happy Sabbath to everyone. I'm just responding to the lady, or the person I should say, who was talking about hot teas, and Dr. Komoso and most of you guys have already covered such a lovely array of warm drinks you can have in the winter, but you don't have to just use it in the winter, because we were talking about green teas and Dr. Komoso was very right in what she said about keeping away from the caffeinated green teas and sticking to the green teas that are not caffeinated. And one of the things that is very, very good for us, whether we realize it or not, is nettle. Nettle can be taken as a tea or cooked or steamed as a vegetable, and it contains a very high amount of antioxidants. It contains minerals, vitamins, loads and loads of stuff like that. It contains polyphenols from the nettle extract, and also it has been really protecting the body and aging. So if we're using that as our tea, we can use it straight, or you can just add a very little honey to it. And also it's very good. It's full of iron, and also very good for clotting, for our blood clotting. It contains the vitamin K there. So instead of drinking the normal caffeinated drinks, try those, or just the lemon water in the morning. Again, you've got your vitamin C and your antioxidants in those. So, you know, maybe we should one day do a challenge on just drinking certain totally different teas for a while, for maybe a week, to see what the benefits will be.
Hello, guys. How you doing? Happy Sabbath.
Sorry,
Carol.
thanks,
How you doing?
Carol, and
Hi, Doctor.
thank you, Louise, for
Yeah.
your comments on the teas.
Yeah.
The extra recommendation of nettle is really good, because that is one thing that I saw some fresh nettle actually growing. I think the country's a bit confused, because the 1 minute it's hot, then it's cold, then it's hot, then it's cold. We haven't quite got to winter yet, so fresh nettle is starting to appear in the countryside as well now. So thank you for that. And yes, the Hawthorne berry, for those who are wondering what is the berry that's good for the heart, it's definitely your hawthorn. There's different ways you can prepare that, making tinctures. But if you look that one up on the internet, that's okay, Dr. Louisa. If you look that one up on the internet, you will see how to make your hawthorn berry tinctures, either with glucose or ethanol. Yes, Carol.
And
Hi.
I think it's important that you also share a tea for some coughs. You know, if you use some onion in a tea.
Listen, let me just,
you know, with some.
Let me just share my slide for something else.
Please do. We can't hear such things and pass on by and not help the people. I think that was a call for help.
Okay, that's fine. There will be something on this screen very shortly. So yes, that will appear. Carol.
Yeah, how you doing? Yeah, hiya, Sharon and everyone. Yeah, no, I was obviously talking about the green tea. They do have different green tea, and I remember years ago in church they were saying it's medicinal with the antioxidants. I realized on the market they do have some with no caffeine, and also they have where you have the loose ones that has apparently it's not necessarily caffeine, but it's like it's a naturally grown, I think it's taurine in it, it's a TANIN. So that's why I was asking about that, because I've had it like in the mornings, because I just find it just helps in a way with the coldness, and you know, when you're waking up in the dark mornings, it helped mentally for you to kind of be a little bit awake, if you know what I mean, because apparently the green tea with the antioxidant is good for your mind as well. I was saying in regards to the lemon tea, which I've said I was doing that, but I don't want to lose weight. I know sometimes people don't have that problem, but with me, I don't want to lose weight. I could easily lose weight, if you know what I mean. So I realized with lemon tea, it does reduce, you know, cutting fats out of your body, you know, in regards to hot lemon tea every single day. The nettle tea, I find that I do have it, but first thing, I find that it does send you to the toilet to urinate. You urinate a lot through the nettle tea. So that's what I was just asking about, the different teas. But having said that, I know like a cold that I've had freshly squeezed orange juice, which is really good, which I've been having throughout the summer. But it's just when it comes to the winter and it's cold, you just feel like you want something to like more warm, to get up, you know, warm, going out in the cold. But I know like throughout the summer it's not a problem because I'll have fresh orange juice and that's good. Carrot juice, freshly extracted the juice from it, and that's no problem. But it's just I do like my hot drinks, especially being in this cold climate, and especially when it gets really cold. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it, I mean. Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
I was just seeing what does the doctor think, maybe, you know, that's what I was asking basically. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if my screen is still sharing. Is it still? No, has it shared at all?
No, it's not.
Okay, right, sorry. So what I had on the screen was, let's go up here, slideshow. There we go, from current slide. So in response to, oh, come on then. Oh, clicked on the wrong thing. There we go. In response to that cough, and I'm gonna, excuse me, maybe I need to mute while I'm doing this. I need to cough as well right now. Excuse me. Right, so yes, we do have a recipe here for a flu bomb. It's a cold remedy. So this could possibly help with Carol's point about what to have, because some of these things on here you can have as a tea, as we said earlier. You can make a peppermint tea, which is going to help boost your antioxidant levels, along with lemon or lime or both of them. And you could even make a tea with honey, or actually make a cough syrup with honey and onion. So if you get your onion and you chop it up, and then you get your honey and you put the chopped up onions in your honey, it makes the honey a bit runnier, so it's more like less syrupy and more liquidy. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say, but it's easier to pour rather than the stretchy, sticky honey thing. So yeah, you get your, and obviously if you've got set honey, again, it's going to make it liquefied. So you get your honey with your onion, you leave it in there to infuse, and then after, I don't know, half a day, you can take your teaspoon and spoon in some of that honey, and that's going to help to coat the throat and reduce the tickly cough. But you also have the properties of the onion, which are just so amazing. I cannot even tell you how good they are, but that's going to be great for you as well. So back to the flu bomb. So Joan, when she was speaking to us about the lungs, she asked us if we would be happy to have some horseradish tea. And she shared with us how much that clears the respiratory system, clears the nasal passage, just helps with your breathing so much. And so horseradish is our #1 ingredient on there, with 1 tablespoon. Now that's enough to really clear most heads. Okay, horseradish is amazing. So there we've got that in the flu bomb. We also have cayenne pepper, which is going to help to boost the circulation. In fact, why am I talking about it? Dr. Louisa, let's have you talk around all the different recipe ingredients of this flu bomb, so you can share with us the properties. So I'll mute and you can unmute.
Well, I'm not familiar with the horseradish.
Well, we've covered that one.
But okay, wonderful. Cayenne pepper is just wonderful and amazing. It helps with circulation, so it's moving the blood along. And remember, the life of all things is in the blood. If you need to be getting nutrients, white blood cells to different parts, you need your body to your blood to be moving. Garlic and onion are powerful. They are powerful antibacterials, antivirals. Onion has a compound allicin. You should study on it. It is the active compounds. When I talk about compounds, yeah, when you take something like medication that I would typically give you as a doctor, you get 1 compound in it. But when you take something like onion, you get thousands of compounds. So imagine you have onion and you have garlic and you have cayenne pepper. You have thousands and thousands and thousands of compounds all working synergistically to help your body and to block each other. So the cayenne pepper is allowing things to move along. The garlic is helping. It also helps with fever. I know, especially with young kids, The onion has the allicin, which also helps with your lungs as well. Honey, especially if you get raw honey, has antibacterial properties. It's nice. It's very nice and sweetening. It coats the back of your throat as well. Lemon and lime, they're high in vitamin C, so that's your antioxidant, and then peppermint has a soothing effect on the body. And peppermint is high in magnesium. Remember magnesium, we spoke about it as well. And magnesium is important also for energy production. That's what the mitochondria, they need it for that. So you mix all of these together and you've got an amazing drink to just help you. And you don't need to just use it, for the flu season. We're living in a time when we've got viruses that seem to not respect the times and the seasons, and they're doing all their things. So make it and just drink it every now and again to just support and boost your immune system. So yeah, that's a little on what I can say.
Thank you for that. And also the peppermint helps with the breath, because if you're around other people, you might think, oh, I've got garlic breath. Okay, so you've got your little drop of peppermint in there. Now, if you are having this, you have to make sure that it's a grade of peppermint oil that's ingestible, not just any peppermint oil that you can get from a cheap brand. You want something that is therapeutic grade peppermint oil. Because I know I went to a recently I went to a health food shop to get some peppermint to make this flu bomb, and they didn't have ingestible peppermint, so I had to just leave it out. Or actually, no, I found some in the cupboard, a really old bottle, but yeah, I used a little drop of that. But so make sure you've got good grade, and I've put the praying hands there because the healing comes from the Father above. As we take these recipes in faith and we pray, we ask that God will help us to have healthy, well bodies. And another suggestion on here is the steam. Okay, so steam inhalation. I know a lot of people have thought at the beginning, like during wave 1 of the COVID issue, people were talking about steam inhalation, getting that down there, using the citrus fruits to inhale steam that's going to help to get rid of viruses. Have you got anything to add with that one? Do you use steam at your lifestyle center, Dr. Louisa?
Well, absolutely, especially Jason is the one, he loves just steaming everybody. He would use peppermint and eucalyptus, and there's a third oil that he uses that I forget now, but he would definitely do that. We started seeing quite a lot of people with respiratory issues. They're not able to breathe properly. We don't know if some of them it's because they've had the COVID and it has affected their lungs and their respiratory system. So what we tend to do is, even if they're not actively sick, we listen to everybody's chest and we steam them to just try and help with that survival. It's a powerful thing to absolutely do. And you must do it properly. Yeah, people don't use enough hot water enough, and they don't cover enough of the body. So when you actively have the condition, absolutely we recommend that you do steam inhalations. It will help to open up your chest, and also if you do the onion poultice, it will help to loosen up the phlegm so that you can cough out that. And then if you're also making the flu bomb, it will help that your lungs don't heal with scarring, because you don't want to suffer from the post-COVID syndrome as well.
Thank you for that, for your comments there, and for enlightening us again on the benefits of steam. Just be mindful, if you do the steam, don't burn yourself, okay? Please don't. You have to be very careful. But the benefits are there to be had. Right, there's a question. What is the clove good for? Clove.
Oh, I think it was 3 cloves of garlic. The recipe was
right, okay,
for cloves, yeah.
In the cold time. Okay, this person has shared with us recently, in the cold times in America, routinely, they would do a lot of hot showers soaking in Epsom salts and drinking many different hot teas at least 4 to 5 times a day. So that's some good advice. But what I would also recommend is your hot and cold showers. Okay, go for the contrast. You might not like it in the cold weather, but it is something that your body will really benefit from. Obviously, if you have certain conditions like, now, would we say if you had high blood pressure, you wouldn't go for the hot and cold showers?
And if you have, well, it depends on how severe it is, but also if you have heart conditions and
That's the
you were
one.
not able to help it,
Heart condition.
But the cold shower really also improves your cold tolerance. So you want to do that in the morning, and then in the evening, the Epsom salt is powerful because Epsom salt is what? Magnesium. You see, it's coming up once again, and that helps with high blood pressure. But it also makes you very tired and sleepy. So you don't want to do that in the morning. You want to leave that for just before you go to sleep, and don't soak for more than 20 minutes. Your blood pressure will drop and you will collapse in that bathtub. So please be mindful of that.
Okay, thank you. Now, someone's asked, the lemon in the flu bomb, do you use the juice only? Now, this depends on your lemons, because some people can get unwaxed lemons. And if you can, there's a lot of benefits in the peel of the orange. You have the essential oils that's in the peel. And you know, like when you go into the orange and it squirts in your face and you've not even cut into the orange yet, that's just coming out of the skin. Sorry, that was a London accent, coming out of the skin. And then in the pith of the orange, you have the fiber that is, you have the fiber that is good for cleansing your arteries. Okay, so if you have clogged arteries, or you know, they're just starting, not blocked, but starting to clog up with, what do they call it now that clogs your arteries?
The plug from the cholesterol and the high fats. Yeah,
so that will help to clear that as well. So you get side effects, clearer arteries. Okay, so I do love when Dr. Gandy puts up the positive side effects. So you've got the flu bomb, but the other effects are you have fresh breath from the peppermint, you have clear arteries. If you have the sorry, my radiator's creaking. If you have the lemon that's unwaxed, you can put that in. And there's several recipes for flu bomb. I've seen Nature's Penicillin that uses the whole lemon and the whole grapefruit. You just whisk it all up, you boil it and you blend it, and then you take the whole fruit. But there's so many different ones. Okay, I'll get back to you, Angela. And are there any more? Is there anybody that would like to unmute? Because we've got maybe another 5 minutes on this platform before we say goodbye to our YouTube family. So is there anyone that would like to? And Charlene, are you able to see if there are any questions on YouTube? Yeah, okay, I saw a thumbs up, thank you. So do we have anybody that would like to unmute whilst we have team that are willing to help you with any questions? If you'd like to put a hand up. I think we've covered all the questions. I love raw onion in sandwiches with rocket tomatoes and cucumber. Great, well done. Thank you, Carol, for sharing that one. Any other questions? No, has everyone gone quiet?
I guess we did a great job of addressing all their questions today.
Well, praise the Lord for that.
Amen.
Okay, a question is here. Dr. Louisa, you gave a name for a very good antioxidant. What was it? Can you remember? I know you said we're getting older, but...
Glutathione. Glutathione, it is made by your liver. Yeah, God is gracious. Yeah, so you don't have to be spending a lot of money. So if you're eating relatively healthy and you don't have liver issues, you should be able to make glutathione. But what you can also do, you can get it as a drip. You can get it as a supplement, but it's cheaper if you just get NAC, N-acetylcysteine. We've spoken about it before. It helps. It's the same compound that's in ACC 200 that one that you put in water and it fizzes and it helps you cough up. But that one has sugar in it, so that's not what I recommend, and it's only 200 milligrams. So I'll type it in the chat, glutathione, but to help your body make it, you can take NAC. But when you take NAC, I recommend you take it with vitamin C, because then they will complement each other. They will just keep recycling each other, and you will feel yourself getting better and healthier, and reduce the amount of pollutants that go into your body and toxins as you're doing this on a daily basis. So I'll type both of them in the chat.
Thank you. And as you're typing, NAC is N-acetylcysteine, is that right? It's coming back to me. Okay, I'm not sure what the N stands for, but I'm sure if somebody was to look online, you'd find what it all stands for. It's great to do your research as well. It helps you to remember it, and you can see it spelled out, and you can read anything else around the topic. So we have a hand from Mulingisi. And please let us hear how you pronounce your name correctly, because I'm sure I've made a mess of it. And tell us where you're from. Sorry, we're really struggling to hear you. Can you just try again? If not, if you can type your question in the chat, Mulungisi.
Pronounced Mulungisi.
Okay, you've told us how you pronounce it, but we can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Mulungisi.
Unfortunately, we won't be able to take your question verbally, but if it's possible for you to put it in the chat, we'll try our best to read it out. Okay, thank you for that, but we really can't hear you. So can we take one more question before we end today's presentation? Was there anything on YouTube, Charlene?
There is, well, we thank Brian for joining us, watching from Wales, although he has a sickness bug. So, but still watching us from Wales.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you. And then from Jean, she wants to know the effects. What effect does warm coconut water and lemon have to do on the body?
Warm coconut water and lemon?
Yes, yes. Yeah, what effect does warm coconut water and lemon has to do with the body, to do on the body? Yeah, in the body.
How do you even get warm coconut water? Sorry, in South Africa, we don't have much coconuts, yeah? And we don't use coconut much. So is it like when you buy the coconut water and you just warm it up and then you put lemon? I'm not sure. I've never heard of that. We will, I suppose we can look it up. Maybe somebody knows.
Charlene, Jonathan, is he nearby you? Could he does he know anything about the benefits of coconut? Or does anybody on here know about the benefits of coconut water? Because I know there's a lot of it available, and you can buy it even if you don't have the coconuts in your country. And we don't have coconuts in England, okay, not growing in our trees, but we do have plenty of
coconuts in themselves. Yeah, coconuts in themselves are great. The water has a lot of minerals in it, but I was wondering if there's any specific reason for warming it up and then adding lemon to it. I normally, because I hang around with Jason, he's from the Caribbean. Whenever we go into a shop, he buys this coconut water with coconut chunks in it, and it tastes nice. And he's like, you need to dose up on your minerals. So I remember that quite distinctly. And he did a video the last time he went into the Caribbean, and he was on his family farm, and he just took this coconut and he shelled it, and he just showed the water that came out, and it was fresh and it was fizzy, and he drank it, and it was for all his mineral content. But I'm not sure if anybody knows the benefits of warming it up and adding lemon to it. I suppose you'll get minerals and antioxidant vitamin C, but I've never heard of that or tried it out. I suppose it would be something to experiment with.
Yep, thank you. Okay, so Galaxy Tab A, thank you very much for that, Dr. Louisa, because yeah, there is a lot of properties in there. And someone has said it's high in iron. So thank you, Huddy Howell, for that. Galaxy Tab A, yes. If you can tell us your name and where you're joining us from, we'd appreciate that.
Let me ask you a question.
Hello.
Hello, Galaxy Tab A. What's your name?
I'm Yvonne Robinson.
Hi, Yvonne. And where are you joining us from?
Nottingham in England.
Oh, okay. my hometown. Well, it's my adopted hometown. That's where I am now. So yes, please, if you could like to ask your question, go ahead.
Yes, the warm coconut water and lemon. In the Caribbean, we used to use that for temperatures. The grandparents used to give us when we have temperature to lower the temperature and help us breathe back. Yeah, so I think that is what the person trying to remember. It was good for temperature. The children, they normally give it to the children when they have a temperature and a cold.
Thank you so much for that information. Really appreciate you unmuting and sharing with us that gem.
But I think the one in the box is not pure, so I don't think it would give the same effect because they added sugar and other stuff to it. I don't even drink that one, to be honest. It's pure sugar.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much for that. And I hope that's answered the question for the individual who asked. So appreciate that. Right, so at this point, we are going to say farewell to those of you who have joined us. We've been on for just over 2 hours now, so thank you so much, our viewers on YouTube. Those of you who are on Zoom, you can stay for a little longer, but we are going to end our formal session, our formal family health show. And you can stay on, those on Zoom, and just tell us where you're joining us from. You can say your hellos, and we'd love to hear from you. So, Charlene, do you have anything that you wish to add? Anything about joining us next week, etc.?
There is some, sorry, I'm just reading some of the chat on YouTube.
Okay.
We did cover regarding the benefits of warming coconut without, the benefits of coconut without warming it. And then someone's asking regarding, they'd like to do some juicing, and there's so many juices to choose from. So what is the best to buy?
What the best juicer?
Yeah, the best juicer to buy. So this person is Mel Gray. So I'm not sure, Mel, if you're able to contact us privately, because there are quite a few. Well, the best one is masticating. That's what it's called, into the masticating juices. But maybe she can message us or email us, and then we can let her know more.
Yes, because the fast juices is a centrifugal one with the blades, and it spins really fast, and it rips your vegetables and your fruits, and then gets the juices out. But the masticating one, it grinds your vegetables and your fruits. So it's got a ball and it turns, and as it turns, it grinds the fruits and vegetables, and that way the juice comes out. It's a bit slower, but it's not that, you still got time, you can still get it done in the mornings before you go out. It's not like you're not gonna be there like half an hour trying to get your juice out. But it's, and you have to cut up your vegetables and fruits a bit smaller. But whatever juice you're gonna have, the time it takes to clean your juicer, there is a difference between your juicers and your blends. The time it takes to clean your juicer is worth it for the benefit that you're going to get from the juices, the freshly squeezed juices that you make. And there are just a little word of information. The blenders and the juicers are different. Sometimes when we talk about juices, people will just use a blender and a high-speed blender, and they will get the fiber. But with the juices, you don't have your fiber. It's just the juice. The fiber comes out separately. And if you wish to do something with the fiber, by all means, you can find different recipes that you can utilize and not necessarily throw the fiber away. If you have a plot of land, you can use that to put the nutrients back into your soil as you grow more produce. Whereas with the juices, that's going to be in liquid form without any fiber, and that is easier to absorb. And that's when people get into the debate, do I mix fruits with my vegetables? Well, if it's a blend, no. If it's a juice, you could, but some would say no to that as well. But it's about how long it takes in your digestive system, because you don't want it to stick around for too long, and then you get fermentation and you get gas, and then you get those awful smells that Dr. Louisa was telling us about. So if you're going to have it as a juice, it will go straight into your bloodstream. Whereas as a blend, it takes longer because it has to be absorbed from your digestive tract. So that's when you separate. You have to separate your fruits and your vegetables. Okay, are we ready to, or was there a hand? Mlungisi? No? You were just going to share with us afterwards. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining us. Charlene, do you know what we've got next week?
This will be a question for Dr. Louisa. Because it's either Jason or it could be Dr. Louisa again for next week. But they'll have to stay tuned and see for next week what's happening.
Okay, so what we need to do is look out on the various platforms. Hopefully we'll get a poster out to let you know what's happening soon. But if not, and you just want to be intrigued as to, you might not know what's coming on, but it's the same platform. We're still on here, still on YouTube, still on Zoom. So come and join us next week if you're available. And please share this. If you've learned something from here that you thought, wow, that's really interesting. And even if you haven't, if it was just a revision for you, still please share, like and subscribe to our YouTube and share the Zoom link, which is the same Zoom link every week with your family and friends and neighbors. Thank you. And we will say at this moment, goodbye on YouTube. Bye. There's a few waves.